You asked me about the deity of Christ.
Right.
Okay. So now then let me know, because I thought it was the church, because you mentioned evangelical charismatic. And that's where you threw me off. So you have questions about the deity of Christ. All right. So go ahead.
So yeah, does that affect his deity? Because
Why?
in my view, Jesus has always had all these things. He's always had authority. He's always been, equal with God. He's obviously never been the Father, but he's always been the Son.
Yeah. What does equal mean, even when you say equal? You have to define terms.
Right. So this is one of the things that I was learning as well. Like when it comes to equality.
Yeah, in what sense equality? For example, are you equal to your father?
No.
You're not? So you're less human than your father?
Well, I'm just as human as him, isn't it?
Okay, so are you equal to your father?
No, I guess not then.
So you're not equal, so you're less human than him?
Okay, so yeah, I am just as human, so I guess I'm equal in that way.
But do you have the same authority he has?
Same authority? No, I guess he's.
So you just said you are equal in one sense, but not equal in another sense. You're confusing categories. You're assuming equality refers to one specific type of equality. No, you're confusing what we call categories, categorical errors, category errors. You can be equal to someone in one way, but not equal to him or her in another way. So you're equal to your father in that you're just as human as he is and have the same human worth and dignity that he does, but you're not equal in authority, right?
Yeah, correct.
Even children, if you have children, your children are not less human than you, because kind begets kind, like begets like. So if you're human, you beget humans. That means they have the same nature, they have the same value, they have the same worth and dignity, but they don't have the same authority. This is why they're subject to you and must honor you, even if they get older and are stronger and wiser, more intelligent than you. That doesn't change the fact you still have authority over them. And if they were to try to abuse you or harm you, they would be dishonoring you, because you're still their parent. And as their parent, you have authority over them, even though they may be stronger than you and even smarter than you. But when it comes to authority, you're still their head. Right?
Right.
You get my point? So what you're trying to now distinguish is differences in authority. Differences in equality. Equality must be defined in relation to the categories. So you don't confuse categories, because if we're talking about human self-worth or human worth, human dignity, if we're human, we all have the same worth and dignity in the sight of our Creator. But as far as authority is concerned, no, there's a hierarchy. So that's what I want you to keep in mind. So when you say Jesus is equal to the Father, all right, now, equal in what way?
Then I guess it's his essence.
Yes. Jesus is just as much God as the Father is. He's equal to the Father in divinity, in glory, in majesty, in power, in honor. But he's still the Father, and Jesus is still the Son. That means there's a sense in which the Son honors the Father as his Father and submits to him.
So there is this system of like hierarchy.
Yes, but the hierarchy is not because one is better than the other and one is older than the other. No, it's just because of who they are in relationship to one another. The Father is the Father. Well, if he's the Father and the Son is the Son and the Spirit is the Spirit of the Father and the Son, that means right there you have a hierarchy in which the Son and the Spirit subject to the Father, and the Spirit is subject to the Son, but the Father is subject to no one. But at the same time, the Father cannot be independent from the Son and the Spirit, because without the Son and the Spirit, he can't be truly who he is, and he can't be truly God. So they are inseparable and interdependent.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Right.
Let me take it a step further so we can unpack this. And I'm going to explain Matthew 28:18, because that's talking about a different kind of authority. But I'm trying to help you go a little deeper and to see it's not black and white, because if you look at things at a surface level, right, and no go deeper, then there are going to be all sorts of confusion. But the more you think, meditate, reflect, the deeper it gets, and it becomes more complicated than simply yes or no. In other words, it's not simply black and white. There's shades of gray. Right now, I'm going to give you an example. Are you the oldest in your family?
No, I'm not.
The oldest is how old in your family?
The oldest is 35.
35. All right.
Yeah.
So now watch my question. Let's see if you're going to listen. Watch my question. Listen to my question. So the oldest, the firstborn, is 35 years old, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, your parents, listen to the question. Your dad, as a dad, how old is he as a dad, as a father? How long has he been a father?
Well, I guess at least 35 years, isn't it?
Exactly. Because without your firstborn, his firstborn, he wasn't a father.
Right.
So you see how, though your father begot him or her, is it a him or a her?
Him.
Okay. So that he begot him, and therefore he is his father and his head. He needed that firstborn to become an actual father. So prior to the firstborn, he wasn't a father. So notice that your father is only as old as the firstborn. So if the firstborn is 35, he's 35. Because fatherhood, motherhood, depends on the existence of a child. Without a child, you can't be a parent.
Right, yeah.
And so a parent is only as old as the firstborn. I'm only 14 years old as a father because my firstborn is 14. So she made me a father, and I was used by God to bring her into the world. So notice, God used me and her mother to bring her in the world, but she made us a parent. So her mother is only 14 years old as a mother, and I'm only 14 years old as a father. Now, when we come to God, God, as Father, has always been the Father because he doesn't need creation to be what he is. He is separate from creation, doesn't depend on creation. He's the one who gives life to creation. Creation needs him. He doesn't need creation. So if he is the Father, and that's one of the essential properties of who the one God is that he is the Father. The one God is the Father. The Father is one God. And he's an actual father, not a father in potential. See, you're a father in potential. You have the potentiality to be a father or not. But your existence doesn't depend on being a father. You can be a bachelor till you die, right?
Yeah.
But according to Scripture, one of the essential properties of the one God is that he's a father. Okay. So if he is a father, the Father, and he doesn't need creation to be who he is, and it wasn't a potentiality in him, he didn't become a father, so he always had that potential. He's always been a father. That means he needs a son to be a father to, but a son that's not created, because if he only becomes a father at the moment of creation, that means he needed creation to be who he is, and he's not independent. Right?
Yeah.
So you see where Jesus the Son is essential to the identity of the Father, because without the Son, he wasn't a father. So the Father needs a Son as much as the Son needs a Father.
100%, yeah.
So this shows their interdependency and their inseparability, because they can't be who they are without the others. And since they're the one God, and the one God is self-sufficient, doesn't need creation, they've always existed together inseparably.
Right.
So this is the teaching.